welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. I am your host Luke and you are the Cheap Shot Nation. And we're going to take you through everything that happened in NXT UK number 33 this week. As you can see, we're being joined by the Heavy Crate champion Travis Banks, who is also known as the Kiwi Buzzsaw and features in the main event of this show. It was aired on the 6th of March 2019. It was filmed in the Coventry Sky Dome at the end of February, I believe the 22nd and 23rd of February, and it was another great show, really pushing the boat out on NXT UK with different styles of matches and things like that. But we're also joined by the Prediction League Championship, which is a copy, an exact replica in cardboard with a purple strap, and signed by Tyler Bate, of the UK Championship, currently held by the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Anyway, like I say, it was in the Coventry Sky Dome, and really good show. So yeah, shall we get on with it? So we begin the episode with a massive hype package going through the history of the rivalry in NXT UK between Travis Banks, the Kiwi Buzzsaw, and Jordan Devlin, the Irish Ace. They have been at each other's throats since January and before that in NXT UK, with various matches being thrown out due to attacks in the back and just being called off because they're beating each other up. And even the last match, they beat each other so much that they couldn't answer the count of 10. But this match is going to be Falls Count Anywhere, and boy do they know it. They used the whole arena in this match, but that is the main event, and we're going to go straight on to the first match, which features Ligero, the best masked wrestler in the UK since Kendo Nagasaki. And if you don't know who Kendo Nagasaki is, I'll put a picture of him just here. And he's going against Nottingham's own Joseph Connors, who likes beating up and breaking shiny new toys. Do with that what you will. Anyway, this is a rematch from a couple of weeks ago. Ligero picked up the win on that one. Connors remaining defiant and saying that that was a fluke. He caught him on an off day, and so we get the rematch. Basically, I'm going to go through very quickly what happened in the match if you've never seen the format before. So the match starts, both guys are looking for the upper hand after an early stalemate. Ligero strikes first with a Hurricane Runner, but Connors dumps him out of the ring. As he goes for a second one, he powerbombs him over the top rope, and now Connors is on top, gaining the advantage straight after Ligero hits that Hurricane Runner. The pace slows. If you've seen both of these guys, the slower pace definitely favours Joseph Connors, who is in full control for quite a lot of the match. There is a sit-down sort of surfboard stretch. Connors is asking Ligero to say "I quit." I see that being a thing in the future, maybe. Ligero comes back with a springboard stunner. It stuns Joseph Connors, hits a DDT from the outside in. That is Joseph Connors hitting that, so very back and forth contest. There's a waistlock facebuster from Connors, which was very unique. The only way I could describe it was a waistlock facebuster. So grabs him like that, picks him up and slams him down with a sit out. Ligero then rolls Connors up after a flurry of near falls. A very unique pinfall, indeed. It's difficult to describe. He rolls him up, he traps the arms and then rolls back through the other side, trapping Joseph Connors sort of upside down with his legs up in the air. pinfall attempt, and he manages to keep Joseph Connors down for the 3 count. That's 1, 2, 3. Your winner is Ligero, pin for the win. Hashtag pin for the win. And your winner is Ligero in that first match. Again, these guys have great chemistry. They battled all over the country. I know for a fact they've battled in House of Pain wrestling before NXT UK was even a thing. And obviously Connors, being from Nottingham, comes back quite often to put on shows for House of Pain and Sticks. So yeah, it was a really good match. You could tell they've got chemistry. You could tell they were working with what limits they had, bearing in mind the last match was probably going to take up half of the show in terms of how it was cut. But great match, great opener to start this week's show. Congratulations to Ligero, picks up another win, more momentum going forward in the title chase. We next go on to a promo cut by Gallus. They are Gallus and it is their kingdom, even though they have lost quite a lot recently, but they did pick up a win against Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster on the last outing between the Coffey brothers, who we haven't seen in a tag team for a long time. Certainly on NXT UK, they haven't been in tag team actions. It's been Mark Coffey and Wolfgang in tag team action, where Joe Coffey was going for singles. And they collectively call out the team of Walter and Pete Dunne. Walter, of course, has made his intentions clear to Pete Dunne that he is coming for his NXT UK Championship. So that should be an interesting match going forward. Will be Mark and Joe Coffey, the Coffey brothers, versus Walter and Pete Dunne. It has been made official by NXT General Manager Johnny Saint, the legend Johnny Saint. Although I get the feeling that Sid Scala does most of the tweeting. Can't all be Donald Trumps after all. And they say they are Gallus, they are dominant, it is their kingdom, and it is very much them and us. So yeah, we get that Gallus promo. Going into the next match, we get to see a couple of new people in the NXT roster. It is Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley. One's from Newcastle and the other one is from Essex. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And they are collectively known as Pretty Deadly. Pretty maybe, deadly not so much. Especially against Fabian Eichner and Marcel Barthel, because these guys are absolutely fantastic. The European Union really playing on that sort of Brexit thing with their tag team. But yeah, early on in this match, Eichner shows his heavyweight, well, not even heavyweight credential, just this pure strength for a cruiserweight with power. He is ultimately very strong, and he shows that, and he can fly, he can do all the other stuff as well, but he's very much a power based wrestler. Eichner puts on a clinic nice and early in this match against the British duo of Howley and Stoker. Like I said, I haven't seen these two before. I'm quite impressed by them, but this match was very short. So yeah, it's a difficult one to call on this one, whether they'll be a feature in the future or whether they're just a couple of local competitors in Coventry, because the British wrestling scene is very big around Coventry and Leicester and all that, and Birmingham certainly, in that sort of area. But both teams show their tag team chemistry. The quick tags from both teams. Bartel sends Stoker into Eichner for a deadlift suplex. Doesn't quite hit this. Like I say, it's a very short match, not much in between the start and the finish. So this is now the finish. Deadlift suplex doesn't quite hit it, but he manages to keep Stoker up in the air enough to hit sort of a power slam move with it, which is ultimately very impressive. The crowd shout one more time. They actually listen to this, so they go. Eichner puts Stoker on his shoulders, it goes up, and Bartel hits the sort of doomsday European uppercut, doomsday Brexit kind of uppercut. I'm sure they're going to call it a Brexit uppercut eventually. Here's one for you. Answers in the comments section down below. When the UK finally do leave the European Union, will British wrestlers be able to use the European uppercut? Answers on a postcard. It's been baffling me for weeks. Anyway, so yeah, we get a Doomsday Device European uppercut combo. And that is the end of the match. Stoker gets pinned by Bartel, and your winners are Eichner and Bartel. Quite a formidable team, and definitely two guys who are on the up and up, even becoming a feature in the NXT tag title race. But I certainly think they're in contention for a UK tag title shot very, very soon. So your winners are Eichner and Bartel, gaining momentum over Stoker and Howley. There we go. Or we'll just call them Pretty Deadly. And there you go. That is the match. Eichner and Bartel gain momentum in the tag title picture. So your next match is a women's match. It features Charlie Morgan, who we saw last Sunday. I knew I'd recognise the name, and I didn't quite put two and two together. But Charlie Morgan is actually on NXT. We saw her last week at the Nottingham Contemporary for Final Graps. Video online now as we speak. She's going against Nina Samuel. She's getting a lot of attention in NXT. Lots of video packages, lots of hype packages. We've seen her. It was a very slow start for Nina Samuels in NXT UK, but she has certainly found her footing with this new attitude that she has started with in NXT UK. Nina Samuels gets an early start on Charlie Morgan, beating her down. Morgan manages to weather that early onslaught by Nina Samuels and gets a small, very small, minute amount of offense in, which is a shame because Charlie Morgan is really good. From what we saw of her on Sunday, she is absolutely fantastic and definitely one to look for in the future. She then telegraphs a sort of a springboard. I don't know whether she was going for a springboard DDT or springboard bulldog or something along those lines, but she telegraphs it. Nina Samuels catches her, puts her up in a fireman's carry, drops her over the knee for a fireman's carry neck breaker, and that is it. That is another very short match, but like I say, based on the main event being a big one this week, you can expect a few short matches in there. But Nina Samuels continues her push for the NXT UK Women's Championship, very much being set up as Toni Storm versus Ginny at this point in time. Do have a signed picture of Ginny, in fact, so from this month's WrestleCrate. Again, video online now on the YouTube channel. But your winner in a very short contest. I'm sure we'll see more of Charlie Morgan later in the calendar year as she develops her skills at the NXT UK Performance Centre. But your winner is Nina Samuels, quite convincingly. She gains a momentum push for the NXT UK Women's title. We next get an interview with the UK champion Pete Dunne, and he talks about Gallus and Walter. He says that basically whether Walter's there or not, he will make sure that this is the last time he clashes with Gallus on NXT UK. But like I say, that match being made fully official by NXT UK manager Johnny Saint for next week, I believe. So yeah, that is a thing that's going to happen. It's Pete Dunne and Walter versus the Coffee Brothers. Wonder how Wolfgang will get involved in that. So we go on to our main event now. I've talked a lot about the main event throughout the show. It is Travis Banks, the Kiwi Buzzsaw, against the Irish ace Jordan Devlin. You have to think that this match will gain the winner a lot of momentum in the title picture moving forward. So this is a Falls Count Anywhere match. So basically you can pin your opponent on a boat, you can pin your opponent on a goat, you can pin your opponent as a blushing bride, you can pin your opponent as when the score is tied. No, that's a Chris Jericho promo. My apologies. Anyway. So yeah, Falls Count Anywhere, you can pin your opponent anywhere. You can pin them up against the post if you want to do. Previously in WWE, back in the Attitude Era and briefly in the Ruthless Aggression Era, we had the Hardcore Championship. It was 24/7, and it was crazy. If you want to watch a really good Hardcore Championship match, watch Raven versus Kane versus Big Show. That is right, Kane and Big Show have had good matches at WrestleMania 17. It's absolutely nuts. So there's my tip of the day for the not for the NXT, for the WWE Hardcore Championship, if you want to find out what a Falls Counts Anywhere match is about. They have Falls Count Anywhere, it usually ends up contained in the ringside area. This one certainly did not disappoint with that, but they did use what they could in the meantime. So the match starts with the bell sounding as Jordan Devlin makes his entrance. Travis Banks charges him at the ramp area, and they go straight for each other. Travis Banks knocks Jordan Devlin into the crowd backwards, and they battle up the nearest set of stairs in the Coventry Skydome. As they battle through the crowd, Banks puts Devlin over the barrier. This is not dead high, but reasonably high. It puts him over the barrier to stop people from falling. Devlin is hanging on at this point. The Kiwi Buzzsaw smashes the back of his hands and Devlin drops to the floor. The next part did get a holy chant from the crowd, and absolutely deserved, because Travis Banks climbs up on that barricade and jumps on to Jordan Devlin from the barricade. Absolutely awesome. To think this is on a 1 hour show in NXT UK is just phenomenal, and Banks is in complete control for at least 5 or 6 minutes before the match actually makes it back to the ring. Jordan Devlin gets no offense in pretty much for that whole 5-6 minutes. There is a little bit of a scuffle in the ring. Jordan Devlin drops out of the ring. There was a chair introduced as well by Travis Banks, I believe, and that is still on the outside. Devlin knows this, as he's not getting very much luck with just normal graps. He goes to the outside, knows there's a chair there. Travis Banks does then try to dive. As he dives, Jordan Devlin gets the chair up and targets the shoulder of Travis Banks and clocks him with it as he's diving out. So there's nothing he can do to lower that impact. Devlin now on top for the first time in this match. Of course, hit Travis Banks with the chair, locks in a Cobra Clutch. trying to wear down the Kiwi Buzzsaw, who's come in like a ball of energy in this match. Banks manages to fight out of the Cobra Clutch, and unfortunately not for very long before Jordan Devlin hits the stand-up spine buster and the standing moonsault combination for the first near fall of the match, pretty much. Devlin then tries the Spanish fly, but Banks counters it. Devlin hits the floor. Travis Banks grabs the ropes. Devlin hits the floor and lands on the chair. Travis Banks now in control. He hits the double stomp to Jordan Devlin and tries for another near fall on the outside of the ring. Like I say, falls count anywhere. You can pin your opponent anywhere in the building, basically. Tables then appear as the NXT Universe shout, "We want tables." Banks does try and set up the table. It takes a long time for him to do this. Devlin gets some of his wind back as we see this happening. Devlin takes out the ref with a drop kick. Basically, Banks, they're back in the ring now. Banks hits a drop kick onto Devlin. The referee is right behind him and knocks the referee out. Banks then hits a fisherman's buster, or the Kiwi crusher, for what could have been a count of 20. At this point, but the referee obviously is not in. No official. Devlin hits a massive headbutt. Watch the show, you'll get that reference. And another moonsault from the top rope. This time the referee comes round and there is another near fall in this match. There is a superplex by Jordan Devlin onto Banks. He tries to roll through and hit a brainbuster. One could only assume this is countered into a Kiwi crusher and another near fall from Travis Banks. Banks hits the slice of heaven. Devlin rolls to the outside and the focus then changes from Banks to Devlin's knee. Manages to double stomp the knee, stomp it into the steps. Something that Devlin has used in previous weeks and months to take out opponents. Tries for another Kiwi crusher through the table. They're on the outside of the ring, on the ring apron at this point. Tries for another Kiwi crusher. Devlin pushes Banks into the post. In the confusion and the sort of general disarray after that move, Jordan Devlin gets Travis Banks for the Spanish fly, hits the Spanish fly through the table. I can only think that with both guys going through the table, he just managed to be on top of Travis Banks. We get the 1, 2, 3. You can see the whelks building on both guys. Your winner is Jordan Devlin. Wow, what a match! And this was happening on a 1-hour show in NXT UK, just up the road from me in Coventry. But yeah, what a clinic, what a match. Jordan Devlin's bleeding from the back. You can only think that might have been through going through the table. The whelks are building up. There's Travis Banks is completely out. But yeah, if you watch a match of NXT UK, not watched it before, you want to try and get into it, pick up the latest episode on the network, look it up on YouTube. I'm sure they'll put it up on there, and watch this match. It is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Well done, boys, and well done to Jordan Devlin, gaining momentum and a little bit of revenge on Travis Banks, going into his attempt to try and wrestle the NXT UK Championship away from the 650 plus day champion Pete Dunne. And so that is everything that happened on NXT UK this week. It was episode number 30 3, and it was filmed at the Coventry Sky Dome on the 22nd, 23rd of February, aired on the 6th of March 2019. What a show. If I wasn't in pantomime when this was being filmed, I would have definitely gone up there. Incidentally, my mate Lee was filmed in the crowd on NXT UK, so I took a picture of it and sent it to him. So yeah, really good show. I'm looking forward to next week now. Nearly at 35 episodes. It's absolutely insane. But if you like what we do and the short version of the NXT UK shows, then make sure you drop kick that subscribe button and hit a Kiwi Crusher on that notification bell to know when we upload new content to the channel. We've got predictions to come for the Fastlane pay-per-view. There'll also be a review of that. We've got House of Pain Wrestling coming up this weekend, Aspire Wrestling coming up. We've got WrestleGate Pro coming up. Hope Future on the 24th, and on the 31st we've got a double header at Southside Wrestling, and I plan on doing reviews for every single one of those shows. So yeah, busy month for me. So yeah, join us on NXT on NXT. Join us for the NXT reviews. Join us on Cheap Shot Entertainment and become part of the revolution as one of the Cheap Shot Nation. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I am your host Luke, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. We're nearly at 200 subscribers, and I plan on doing something very special for that. I'm not quite sure what that would be yet, but I will do something special if we hit that 200 mark. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.